Hey, how's it going, everyone? I hope you all are having an amazing day. As always, it's almost the end of the year, so I would like to talk about some of my favorite manga I read this year. Now, I am gonna be kind of strict. This is only gonna count as manga I started and finished this year, or at least started this year and are continuously reading. According to YouTube, only 28% of you guys are subscribed, so if you like these kind of videos and you'd like to see more, just be sure you're subscribed. Sometimes you think you are, you may not be. Just click subscribe for me. I very much appreciate it. But yeah, let's start talking about some of my favorite manga this year. Now, this year had banger after banger after banger. Absolutely slapping manga. I found some holy grails of mine that I never thought I would enjoy, but did. I guess we'll just start it off right off the bat. First, we'll talk about a manga I never thought I would own, and that is Gantz. Now, I've only read the first 3 omnibuses, which is still like 9 volumes, so I'll count it. And this manga is so good. Honestly, my homeboy East Coast Manga actually got me on this because he recently picked it up, and I decided, you know what? He has pretty decent taste. Everyone has good and bad takes. Now and then, I do. I know I do. I am very well known for having some pretty bad takes. Gantz is amazing. Hiroya Oku's art's phenomenal. This plot takes so many left turns and just completely defies your expectations. 90% of the stuff in this manga that happened, I completely, was like, what the fuck just happened? 2 and 3, it was all over the place. I had no idea what was happening anymore. I had no idea where the plot was going, like who the main characters were, who the side characters were. It's so interesting and so different. I loved it so much. Only reason why I haven't picked up more is because I'm waiting to have some money to burn, and then I'm definitely going to pick up the rest of Gantz. Definitely 120%, because this manga was so good. Volume 3 left on such a big cliffhanger, and I am so excited to read more. The action was amazing. I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram a couple months ago. There was a scene, they were fighting a statue of Buddha, and it was really funny. It was really funny. If I have the clip, I'll play it. I thought it was hilarious.
Fucking look at this, bro. What the fuck is this? Bro gets shot in the face. He's like, what the fuck?
Gantz is amazing. I'm very excited for more. I've only just got a taste of what's to come, and I am excited for more. If this series just keeps getting better, it'll probably enter into my top 10, maybe even my top 5. We'll have to find out. But yeah, so far I've only read the first 3 volumes, and I am heavily enjoying it. I actually binged volume 2 and 3 of the omnibuses in a single sitting, which only took me like 2 hours. These are really fast reads. Now, I know people complain about the build quality, or at least the size and tallness of said volumes, but I don't mind it. They weren't that hard to read for me, because I guess I have monstrous hands. They feel nice, like when you grab it, you know it's not going to accidentally fly out your hands like those small, slim, tall-ass like Viz Sigs or Kodansha volumes like Bookseller Honda San. If I feel like if I'm too heavy with it, it'll just shatter in my hands. But this, like, I could build a house with this shit and it would be structurally sound. But yeah, Gantz is amazing. I think it's awesome. We'll continue on. Next, I'd like to talk about a manga I never thought I would own, and I ended up loving. It awoken something in me that loves this genre of manga now, and that is Yakutate Japan. Now, I've read all 10 volumes of what I own. There's about 23 or 26 volumes, and this series is such classic goodness. This series awoken the love for food manga in me. I knew I always loved it because I loved Food Wars, and I've always had a soft spot for food manga, but every time I read a food manga now, I just fall in love with it because I think it's so good, and this manga is just the king of food manga. If you haven't read this, I would heavily implore you to do so. Now, this is an old manga. Now, you think it's expensive. It's not. You can find a lot of these volumes readily available. Now, some, yes, are out of print. Some, yes, are out of stock. Just be patient, and maybe you'll find a good deal on them on Mercari, eBay, Kijiji, Craigslist, I don't know, anywhere that you can buy used books. Just be on the lookout, and if you see a good deal, grab it, because this manga is almost a 10 out of 10 for me. The MC is really well done. I love how he's a fucking idiot in every other subject, but when it comes to cooking bread and bread only, or according to him, Japan, which is a play on Japan. On pon means bread in Japanese, for those who didn't know that. But this manga is phenomenal. The out of the ordinary baking techniques he uses is so entertaining. And while yes, they can be used in real life, you need what they say in this manga, the hands of God, which basically his hands are at the perfect temperature to, as he's kneading, he's kind of keeping it at the temperature it perfectly needs to be a perfect loaf of bread or whatever he's cooking. There's a lot of writing. The characters are very well done. There's a lot of dialogue, so this does take a while to get through, but I've enjoyed every single page, every single chapter, every single volume of this series. And if you're looking for a classic manga that has some shonen goodness in it, some shonen baking goodness in it, then definitely go check out Yakutate Japan. Now, I know a lot of people comparing this to Food Wars, which I completely agree with. I feel like whatever Food Wars does, this does better, and I can tell there is a lot of inspiration from Yakutate Japan in Food Wars, which I cannot complain. I loved Food Wars, and I love this even more. But yeah, definitely go check out Yakutate Japan if you have the money and if it's readily available. Definitely go buy it, 110%. Next is probably my favorite manga of the year. A manga I had no idea I would love so much. I was so hesitant to pick the first volume, but once I did, I completely fell in love with it. It's the one manga this year that I know of that started and finished this year, and that is Summertime Rendering. Now, there are only 6 volumes, which sucks, because, I mean, I would have loved more, but I love the fact it's only 6 volumes. Now, these are 2-in-1s, and these are gorgeous. These are fucking gorgeous. The story is so unbelievably well thought out, and the art's fantastic. The characters are so well done. Every chapter and every couple chapters, there's a twist. There's like a jaw-dropping moment, a moment you would never expect. The reveals, like I said, the plot twists, everything about this manga is so well done. Now, a lot of people thought there was censoring in this manga. There isn't. There isn't censoring. Now, I know some people think there is and still do believe there is, but I would like to think the censoring is an artistic choice, because there are a lot of times where characters pop titties and there is a lot of gore, so it's not censored. But I would love to think of it as a artistic decision. It definitely shows that these things aren't meant to be here, and they're kind of like a glitch in the Matrix, something that isn't on planet Earth, or shouldn't be on planet Earth, but are, and I loved that. I think it added an extra mystery aspect to this manga, and I believe this is probably one of my favorite mangas. It's probably in my top 10 now, and definitely my favorite read of the year. This manga just blew me away. The psychological thriller, the mystery aspect was so well done. Now, I heard a lot of people complain about the ending, but I loved the ending. I thought it was very, very, very well done. It warmed my soul 110%. That volume, like, confirmed it being a 9.5 out of 10. Maybe even a 10, we'll have to see. But yeah, this manga is phenomenal. The only reason why I haven't given it a 10, because I don't think it matches with my other 10s, which is basically JoJo's, Blue Lock, and Silver Spoon. Definitely, if you're looking for one manga to read in 2023, definitely go pick up Summertime Rendering. And I have to give props where props are due. Udon Entertainment has knocked it out of the park. I know hardcovers are coming out soon, but I love these paperbacks. The build quality is really well done. I love how the cover wraps all the way to the back, and the spines and covers for the entire series are absolutely gorgeous, and the Japanese volumes of these have even more covers, because these are 2-in-1, so we're missing about half the covers in English, and just looking on Amazon Japan, they look beautiful. So yeah, 120 million% go read Summertime Rendering. You will not regret it whatsoever. Next, we have a manga I was finally able to read this year after getting all the volumes I needed, and that is Hell's Paradise. Now, I am going to cut this series some slack. I did get to volume 1 about a year and a half ago, maybe 2. I did read it then, but I did a complete reread of this series after finally getting volume 4 and what I needed. I'm going to count it because I did technically read volume 1 this year, and this series was so amazing. It was beautifully well done. The characters and their developments were so well thought out. The fantasy sort of setting that they're set in old-time Japan was gorgeous. I thought it was really well done. The art's amazing. These covers and spines are absolutely gorgeous. The stakes were high. It was high intensity, high action, a lot of gore, a lot of deaths, and I loved it. Now, people are gonna hate me when I say this. I said this in my haul video, I believe, but after completely finishing it, this is much like Chainsaw Man in the way the characters work, but I mean that in the best way possible, because I didn't really like how the characters worked in Chainsaw Man. This manga had a lot of characters in it, and they all had their time to shine. So when eventually some of them said goodbye, in more ways than one, it actually hurt, and they left very impactful moments from when their eventual time came, and it was beautiful. There was not one circumstance in this manga that made me feel like, that could have been done better. No, every single thing that happened to a character in this manga was well made and well thought out. It was planned correctly, and it was executed beautifully. So if you're looking for a high action-packed manga with an amazing story, an amazing character, definitely go read this manga. You will not regret it, and the ending was super satisfying. I definitely enjoyed the ending to this manga. So yeah, definitely go check it out, please. If you haven't read this yet, there's something you're doing. Or you can wait for the anime, that too, because the anime does look really good. Alrighty, next is a manga I got completely hooked on. I read all 23 volumes in about a week, and that is Doro Hey Doro. Now, I heard this manga would take a while for me to get through. That's completely false. A buddy of mine told me that each volume is pretty wordy and pretty long. That's not true. I blazed through like 6 or 7 volumes a day just because I couldn't get enough of it. The plot is so well done. Akiyuki art. She's definitely one of my favorite mangakas of all time now. Just the way they introduced to this manga is just a widespread of someone in Kaiman's mouth. I thought it was so... the second I saw the panel, I knew I would fall in love with this manga. And I did. I binged the living shit of this manga, and when it ended, I was so sad because I didn't get more of this amazing manga, but it was still a very well done ending. The mystery aspect as to who Kaiman is took so long to finally figure out, while there were so many questions popping up left and right. I don't know why I just tossed that volume. I need that. It was so well thought out. Akiyuki definitely had a lot in mind and executed it perfectly. The power system was so well thought out. The characters are amazing. Nikaido's bad as shit. Overall, this manga was so enjoyable. I'm so sad to see it end, but one I'm definitely gonna hold very near and dear to my heart. This might have entered my top 5. Probably my top 10. I'm gonna give it the same score as Summertime Rendering, 9.5 out of 10. It is so close to a 10. I will never forget this series and all the shenanigans it got into. The dark humor was hilarious. It was timed perfectly, and it was executed beautifully. The comedy never felt out of place or weird or moment ruining. It all felt like it belonged there. But yeah, that's Doro Hey Doro, a manga I thoroughly enjoyed, and one I'm so sad to see it go, but one I'm going to probably reread in a couple years. But yeah, I loved this manga so much. I wish I could say more about it that I haven't said already, but yeah, this is amazing. The side characters are well done. Their character development moments are beautifully executed, and overall, this is just a phenomenal manga. Akiyuki, you have earned my respect with this series, and I already respected you enough just with the 4 volumes of Die Dark I read. But yeah, this manga is phenomenal. Akiyuki, you are one of my favorite mangakas of all time now. Beautiful. Love it so much. But yes, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If there's any manga that you read this year that deserves to be in your top 5, please let me know in the comments section below. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Peace, take care.